What I'm going to show you today is how to speed up your microtorrent or uTorrent. First we need to open up uTorrent. We're going to go to Options, click on Preferences. Once your preferences is up, you're going to want to click on the connections. Now for port used for incoming connections, you're going to want to use a port that is between 40,000 and 65,536. Any port between that range will work. The reason is because them ports are not normally used in everyday use, and the majority of all internet service providers do not monitor or restrict bandwidth on them ports. After you set your port, click on bandwidth, put your maximum upload rate to 0. The reason we want to do this is because you don't want to limit how fast you're going to upload, because that determines how fast you're going to download from other people. You want the most bandwidth possible for upload rates from your peers so you can download at the fastest possible. So set your download rate to 0 also for unlimited. Under your number of connections, select or click on global maximum number of connections. Now, a lot of people want to set this number really high so they can get as much connections as possible. The problem with that is every single connection made requires a small amount of bandwidth just to keep it open. And what I mean by that is it takes a little bit of information or a little bit of bandwidth from one connection into the connection to the other end to tell each other basically, hey, I'm still open, keep me open, whatnot. And this is your global connections, which are the connections for every single torrent together. Your maximum number of connected peers per torrent is the number of connections you allow per your torrent. Now, I set mine at 64. Reason being is 64 does not slow down my internet if I'm surfing while downloading a torrent. If I set it much higher than that, my internet seems to slow down, but I also still max out my bandwidth on every single torrent that I download. I'm not using too many connections and using too much bandwidth just to maintain them connections. After you get these done, set to, I would recommend 64, nothing higher than 128. You should use multiples of 8. After you get that set up, go down to queuing, maximum number of active torrents, set that to 4, because that will make sure that you're not spreading your bandwidth over too many torrents at once, and it will get the first torrents you add to your download section done faster by allocating more bandwidth to them. Under your seeding goals, set your minimum ratio to 200%. What this means is that you will seed or share 2 times what the size of the file is, which means if you download a gigabyte file, you're going to share 2 gigabytes worth of that file, which is what we want every single person to do, is seed, because that affects our download rate. After setting your minimum ratio to 200%, let's go under Advanced and find the advanced option named net.max_half-open. Set that to 8. Also find the option that's bt.connect_speed and set that to 8. Everything else leave alone. Click apply when you're done and push OK. If you have any questions or comments, leave them below. Thank you for watching. This is how you speed up uTorrent.